you can tear your quad and and figure something out from there.
I saw Vince was mentioning something about the quads in an interview from that link you dropped.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
In the McAfee
I still haven't
interview.
gotten all the way through it.
It's a lot of stuff. I skimmed most of it.
So I mean, I guess shit. So it's one of the current things going on. Might as well touch on it real quick.
So Vincent Kennedy McMahon was on the Pat McAfee show, and like Handsome Bane being the purveyor of dope stuff that he is, he found all, like, pretty much quote for quote of the whole interview. So we're just gonna go through some of the highlights that jump out at. This is our version of the gauntlet tonight, since it's just me and Handsome Bane. Shout out to Mark Robb. So let's see.
We gave Mark Robb the night off.
Oh, that's right.
And hey, what's going on, everybody? Shawn Michaels. You remember that gimmick? You remember that time I said that to Sid?
Yeah,
that was crazy. That was a fun time, man. Fresh off WrestleMania 11. It was 11, right? It was 11. So gather around, children. Shawn Michaels is gonna give you a little history lesson.
Oh boy!
All right, here we go. It was a March or April, late March, early April. WrestleMania has happened, and this is actually one of the first Raws after Mania that mattered. You know, it's like you had Mania, or you had like Mania Access, those kinds of things. But you guys watching at home didn't get to see that kind of stuff. But we had it going on there. You could meet the Bushwhackers, whatever. Who gave a shit? A darn.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Sean.
Sorry. And then, you have Mania on Sunday. And then this Mania that I'm going to talk about briefly was kind of like that first WrestleMania that you had to watch. I'm sorry, that first Raw after Mania that you had to watch, because stuff was going to shake after that too.
Okay.
So I gave Sid the quote unquote night off, and then he put me on a stretcher.
Yes, he did.
There was a little extra funk in those power bombs, because I had actually an hour before the show had said something in the similar vein, and then that's what made Vince book it on the show, because I kind of cheesed Sid off that night. I don't know. I was
not young Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Sid came in there and he was smelling like Soul Glow, and I found out that he was wearing Jerry Curl juice.
Sid.
I said, Sid.
Sid used to wear Jerry Curl juice.
Oh yeah. He got a perm. He wanted Jerry Curl juice.
Those weren't all natural curls.
No.
Well, really?
I gotta tell the truth.
Oh man.
And quiet is kept. You didn't hear this from me. I'm not one to gossip. Amen. But Sid likes to try to moonwalk in his silent moments.
In his silent moments
when it's just him and his thoughts. He turns on the radio. He listens to Billie Jean.
So Psycho Sid loves Michael Jackson.
Sid Udy. All right. All of them. Sid Justice, Psycho Sid, Sid SYD, Super Sid, Unibot, whatever you want to call him. The guy, Sid Udy, in his silent moments, listens to Billie Jean really loud. Okay. By himself. Anyway, anyway.
Did you catch him?
Real throwaway point. Well, how do I know about that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Heck yeah. Absolutely. I call him all the time. He would always do that kind of stuff. He would be singing songs and dancing and stuff, and he always had his back to the doorway. So he'd always catch Sid. And he's just like...
How was his moves?
Better than they are now.
Okay.
All
right.
Since that thing happened.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woof.
Oh, okay. So
what's this button here? Oh, what?
Sean,
come on. What kind of...
Sean.
Oh, man.
Where's Mark Rob when you need him?
Come on, what is this?
I'm just gonna ask you really nicely.
What kind of show am I on? Why would you have this on a button?
Sean,
hang on.
Can you stop touching buttons?
Hang on. What is?
No, don't push anything else, Sean. Come on.
Oh, what? Come on,
Sean. Bro,
you guys are sick. What is it? What?
Okay, that's funny.
What did that say? Oh, for crying out loud! All right, I'm gonna get out of here before I get struck by lightning.
I don't want to have to yell at you, man.
You guys are perverts.
Oh wow.
You guys.
Wow. Sean.
Oh man.
I thought you weren't supposed to judge, man.
I'm not, but what? Come on, what is this?
Sean.
It says it right. Why would it say that? Why would it do that?
Touching the button.
My word.
My word. Go check on Triple H, bro. Go check on Hunter.
That was wrong. What's wrong with Hunter?
Nothing right now, but you know.
I don't know.
Yeah, he had a major heart operation a few months ago. Maybe just.
Oh yeah, that.
Just drop by to say hello. Give him a call. Yeah. You know what I say? I like to say that you should reach out to your loved ones and let them know how much they mean to you, while you still can give people their flowers. Why don't you do that for Triple H there, Sean?
Nah, all right.
Yeah, thanks. So I don't have to tell you to get the fuck out, because that's Mark Rob's job. And you're my hero. Old you anyway. All right.
Old him.
Yeah, I old him.
Please.
Old him is when I liked Sean after the back surgery. Starting WrestleMania 21. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No.
Shite. 19.
He's 19. A shite champion. All right.
That's your opinion.
But yeah,
and it's a fair opinion.
All right. Let's get on those. Let's do all Vince. Of that to say yeah. There you go.
All right, so I'm just gonna pull one from this huge list here. Pat McAfee asked Vince if he thinks he will live forever. He said no, and mentioned that his mother died at 101. This is not the first time I've heard this. It's the first time that I've actually known that to be said like to our human ears, because I've heard that Vince has constantly said his mother lived to 101, so he thinks that well, he knows he's going to die eventually, but he doesn't expect to be going anywhere anytime soon. Wow, Vince. How old is Vince now?
Ancient.
Yes, besides ancient. Like, he's got to be like 80s now, right?
I think so.
Let's see how old he is. Man, like, he's not going to give up the E until he absolutely, until he does. I mean... That's just what it is. He's only 76, and I said only.
Yeah. Well,
not that 76 is necessarily old.
Yeah, I thought he was in the 80 range. That doesn't surprise me. And that's not because, oppressors age like milk. It's because again, I think his aging kind of like took place a little rapidly. Like, I don't know if
I
also
agree.
Because he was also pumping himself full of venom and whatever other fucking, you know what I'm saying, whatever other steroids and HGH he was using.
Yeah.
All
the things.
And then when you stop that, then it's just like, oh no, I'm actually tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I noticed the change in Vince's appearance. Like, of course, he was always like announcer Vince, and then early Attitude Era Vince. But then when we started wrestling Stone Cold is when he was like really super buff, like Royal Rumble 98, all that stuff. And I was like, oh my God, Vince. And obviously, we all knew. And it was just, he did it as a slap to the face of the trials and everything that he went through just a few years earlier. You know he did. Because he's like, you didn't get me. And now look at me. Try to take me in now, coppers. Like, yeah.
But I mean, that's one thing if he's doing it himself. It's another thing if he's like just running, and he was basically running the industry at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And forcing everybody to beef up unnaturally.
Yeah,
It's already enough that he, it's like CM Punk had to get big when he came in. Like,
yep.
he had to get like really big, and like those guys were like bloated. Like Edge was so as big as
Edge
he
was
was back
big.
then. Edge was huge. And
Like,
it was like
definitely the
he's
mid
obviously-
2000s was real big on everybody. Like,
Yeah.
who used to be like in the late 90s, who used to be like they look like just professional wrestlers. They look strong,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden everybody like,
Yeah, like even Eddie. Like I was
Eddie?
like, I don't know. I remember kind of being like, I don't say like turned off by it, but it just felt like he was kind of forced to get that D's, or like Rey Mysterio was just like, come on, man.
Ray has done it multiple times. Like even when he
don't
came
need
back
to
this
get
last
that
time,
big.
he wasn't big, but he was in great shape. But there's pictures, man, and everybody looks like they run through a brick wall.
Yeah, it's like when everybody had like really different proportions, or like really like varied looks on Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, where everybody was in different kind of shapes and sizes, and then Street Fighter 4 everybody just has like big ass Flintstone feet, and it was just like, wait, y'all, why is everybody so fucking jacked, bro? Like,
Right.
We don't need everybody to look the same or like
No,
have the
man.
same body type, and it's like I just think it's the variety being the spice of life, and that whole like being best seen there in professional wrestling, where it's just like, dog, these niggas are weirdos, bro, and everybody should have like their chance to just have a favorite that's like super different from everybody else, and like to homogenize that look, or it's just like I hated that.
It leaves a
I
bad
still
taste
hate
in your
that.
mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, either that or it's just like, it just, again, like we talked about maybe a couple weeks ago, how the product is so overproduced. It's like it's a bunch of stuff where, like, I'll say, all the women having to have long hair or dye some different ridiculous color, or or wigs, for that most of them are doing now, thank God, because that would just wreak havoc on your hair. These
Take care of your hair, ladies.
bright, cheap colors that they want them to put in there. It's just it's stupid, and it's like you see like women. Well, you see every character get mishandled to some degree, but like when you look at, especially if you want everybody to be like into these female characters, obviously, you want there to be some kind of attraction. Otherwise, you would probably have way more women in the locker room, because they have different looks, and like if they don't fit this very specific model-esque look, you know what I'm saying, he would have a whole locker room of Mandy Roses if possible, and it would be boring.
He would.
It would be super boring, and like that's why I'm glad to see the Dewdrops, or
Yeah, I appreciate Dewdrop. I appreciate
Piper Nevin. God damn it, give her
Piper.
a fucking name. You got her. You got your. You have your Savannah Summerses and your.
Shout out to the Hall of Famer.
Your Ruby Sohos and that kind of stuff, and it was like they were like, when Ruby was there, I was like, man, they're all right. They're going for it. They're like, actually are trying to have somebody with a different look.
Yeah.
It was like, and I don't mean to be crass, but it's not like Ruby isn't typical.
No,
You know what I mean?
She's
Like-
not your typical women's wrestler, and honestly, she's not your typical woman, man. Like, she has a distinct look.
Like, I personally don't. I don't think she's ugly, but I am not attracted to her.
It's not your thing.
Okay. And that's dope, because I just want to see her fucking wrestle. You know what I mean? Like, and we should have enough to where it shouldn't be a thing where everybody's got to be fucking hot before they can get in the ring. Or at least everybody doesn't have to be hot to everybody. Everybody doesn't have to be typically hot, I should say, to like get some damn TV time, especially if you just got if you have the goods. And her personality shines through too, or to me a little bit better than, say, I have no idea what Mandy Rose is about.
I've never understood Mandy Rose, man.
I don't have any. I have nothing. I have so much of a better understanding of like what Ruby Soho is trying to get across to me. Mandy, and this I don't think it's her fault, but she doesn't like the character has no depth, and it sucks because Mandy is a beautiful girl and she's somebody that people want to see, but that's all we want to do.
Right.
Is see.
There's no
because I don't know who this person is. I don't know who she's supposed to be as a performer.
She has no character. She hangs out in swimming
pretty
pools.
And I'm the champion, so that means I'm the best.
And I have dark hair now. And I have sidekicks now.
You gotta have some if you're a heel too.
You gotta do some bad shit.
You gotta do some bad shit.
All she does is like sneer at people most of the time. And go,
yeah, like if you're gonna be a heel, like you definitely gotta have some depth because you gotta carry the action in the ring, and you gotta like everything is predicated on what you do. Baby faces have to react; they can't come after you unless they're Stone Cold Steve Austin, obviously. But like, yeah, like they have to chase you. And I actually tried to watch some Mandy Rose. Like I like her, like I like looking at her again, but I have no idea who this person is supposed to be.
Yeah. And now I've been in the same boat. Like even when she's on the main roster, and I was honestly excited when she went to NXT because
she's gorgeous.
It was it was right before the rebrand, and I'm like, okay, she's going to NXT, cool. They're going to send her down there, and then something cool's going to happen with her. Yeah. And then they did the rebrand, and Triple H no longer was running it and everything, and now we are where we are, and she's held the belt for since Halloween Havoc? Is that right? Like 3-5 months now. And honestly, there's not a real legit end in sight. Like she has people she's feuding with, but it's just kind of like, okay, we're gonna just leave us here.
There's nobody to. I'm like, who else would I put it on? I would have put it on Dakota Kai. Because Dakota Kai has a story. Like Dakota Kai has a story. Like as just like the character who was like kind of slated to be the next Bailey. She had that connection with the crowd. She was like, America's sweetheart, and then her whole story being the pivot of the fucking heel turn.
Yeah.
While she had a ton of support, which is crazy because it's like it'd have been different if everybody kind of turned on her or like her character was getting stale. Like she was still like, as far as NXT goes and ability to get sympathy and shit as a face,
very over.
Dakota Kai was super over. And when she turned on Tegan Knox at that War Games, it was like, holy shit.
Everybody was talking about that.
This is the worst thing that could have happened.
Right.
Like,
you hated to see it.
You hated to see it. And
that's how you knew it worked at the same time, though.
For sure. Because I like I said, I remember Dakota Kai's story because I'm a Dakota Kai fan, and I remember just wanting the shit to work out for her. And they definitely should have at some point put the title on her because she's the only one there who can really kind of convey emotion to the crowd.
Here's my hot take on where NXT did go wrong. So for years and years, NXT was the best product that WWE was putting out. Like people were ready for Wednesdays and ready for the pay-per-views, and they would constantly deliver. They deliver.
And this next one, the next one is called Stand and Deliver.
It is.
Fuck off. Anyway,
and this the second year they done this one. I think they did it at Mania last year too.
Knock it the fuck off.
Now they did so well with growing new stars like your Charlottes, your Becky a little bit. Like Becky obviously has done more in the main roster. She never won an NXT title, but she was part of that four horsewomen at NXT. Yep. Bailey, Sasha, Paige, of course, coming out and then being the one to ultimately be the first real diva in that era and have the divas who was actually going to the main roster and beating ass. So they built that, and then on the other side they were bringing all these other stars from foreign promotion, just other promotions who they would shoot to the moon, like your Balors and your Nakamura's, and then Kevin Owens, and it's like, yo, this is crazy. Like all of our nerd wrestling dreams are coming true, and I don't want to say they rested on their laurels, but I feel like maybe the title turnover could have been just a little more. It was good storytelling as far as giving the fans what they wanted and making sure there's marquee matches and maintaining that there was long runs in between titles changes and stuff. But especially and before the rebrand, like the last 18, and I know COVID probably messed up a lot of this, but even like around 2019 or so, with like they had a lot of cool things going on, and then with Rhea Ripley being the NXT champion going into Mania in 2020, like it seemed like they were heading that direction where they're going to flip things a lot. They could have definitely done more as far as getting Dakota Kai title runs, getting other male wrestlers over that, or title runs that were over at the time, and it just didn't happen because either they were just so set on making sure that they told so great stories, and they had such great characters like Ciampa and Gargano. Like I loved all their matches. It was a little tired by the time we got to like the fourth round of it.
Yeah,
they delivered. They definitely delivered, but it was like, okay, do we need to see this again? Like maybe have Ciampa put over, or have somebody come out of nowhere and take Ciampa out and be like, oh, he took Big Goldie away from
Ciampa. New realer nigga out here.
Right, and that would have really been like, yo, like, are you like kind of like what they wanted to do with Breaker? Oh, except Ciampa beat Breaker the first time and they kind of killed that momentum. So they just didn't strike as much as they could have when the iron was hot. And maybe that was the goals for the last 2 years before the rebrand. But of course, with COVID and having to be locked down and, dealing with like not knowing when Adam Cole's contract expires, and maybe I can see why they didn't do that as well.
Yeah. Well, I never understood the rush to move people to the main roster.
They didn't want, they wouldn't let someone be real big in NXT, but then fall down back into the NXT mid-card, which was not a bad place to be. They're like, we got to get you on the main roster. And then they get to the main roster and then they're jobbing. So
right.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And just the, it's like, I don't understand sabotage. Like, you know how it works. Like,
especially in your own company.
You've been running the fucking business forever. And like, what works and what doesn't, and when something doesn't work, and when you see, just as an employer, you see like high turnover, it's like, these guys were useful before. Like, yeah, like at some point, look at yourself, like, am I just not able to make money? Like, what's happening right now? But like, I don't know. It's just still like, you still gotta be, you gotta somehow figure out how to become Vince's comfort food, Yeah. Somehow you gotta do is something that you have to do. Like, I know New Day has another title reign coming up at some point. You know what I mean? Because because it's a cash register. I don't know who's buying Charlotte merch, but like somehow she found a way to become that nigga's comfort food. You could be a Brock Lesnar. Yeah, you can come over. Brock Lesnar can go spend a night in Vince's house right now.
Yeah,
he can just come.
He probably has in the last 6 months.
Probably. I mean, fuck. Hey Vince, open the fucking door, you weirdo. He come down there in his like silk robe and his fucking. He ain't sleep. Vince ain't sleep.
Vince didn't sleep.
Vince ain't sleep, but he is still wearing like a smoker's jacket around the house. He
probably gifted to him by Gross Hefner, by Hugh Hefner.
You think so?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, he's definitely been there. He's definitely been in the grotto.
Yeah.
Not a whole bunch of times, because he'll be all he has time for is the WWE. Like, but probably in the 80s when he was first starting to feel his real fame and get the money up, he probably went out there. You know what I'm saying? Your boy been out there already. Your boy was out there.
Yeah. Of course he was.
Couple of your boys was out there actually.
Yeah. Oh man.
Hugh. Like that's him out there. yelling for Hugh to come and bring him some more victims. Anyway, Super Bowl Saturday.
God.
Bring some more victims. That's him. That's Rick and Hugh Hefner. Every time he can't to the Playboy Mansion.
Oh
God.
Get the Quaaludes, Rick.
If those walls could talk, they'd kill themselves.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously.
Anyway.
Oh. That's the worst drop ever when we're talking about that.
Fucking asshole.
Wow.
Well, since we're here about NXT, 2.0.
2.0.
Gotta do the fucking stupid ass marketing for it. Nikita Lyons.
What up, though?
Nikita Lyons. How do we feel about Nikita Lyons? Go ahead.
She is quite nice to look at.
Yeah, she's impressive, and I was.
And not to cut you off, but I did.
Go for it.
She got some decent moves. She got a little agility to her, man. Like, like she is by no means a polished wrestler. By no means.
But I'm afraid.
But I have enjoyed the things I've seen, but not for all wrestling reasons.
So, I first saw Nikita Lyons via IG somehow. I didn't, my Instagram
page.
My Instagram sends me mostly pro wrestling, and then black women in really tight dresses just walking. I don't know why Instagram is judging me the way it is, but they hit the mark. and Nikita Lyons is like, she's almost smack dab in the middle of my Venn diagram until she's 22 years old. She young. So my old ass is going to stop looking at her like that. However, she still is super physically impressive. She is like obviously a beautiful young lady. She's going to make some man happy one of these days because that's the goal for a young lady. But
toxic boxer. There you go. Clean that up a little bit. Get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
That's the problematic light that's the Thesis and Marrow problematic horn going off. But no, I do like the moves that she was pulling off. It's like, all right, but we're not supposed to see this much of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she still needed that. I don't know why they're so thirsty to get her out there. I mean, obviously her look.
They keep reposting that finish of the match.
Everything. Yeah. Of course we're talking
like
about
every couple days.
Leg, the leaping Prince leg drop. Which, I mean, we can be honest. Terry did it better so far. Not the split, but I mean, you'd rather take the finish from her. Right?
Yes.
And, but I don't know. I just don't want her to shatter her pelvis the way Terry has shattered his hip over the years. Yeah. Wrestling is just so dangerous.
It is.
I mean, just take care of yourselves, everybody, please.
People don't understand how dangerous wrestling can be.
It looks great. I hope everything works out. I hope that her coming up in this new system of build and destroy NXT 2.0. I hope that shit works out for her and that she gets really good and she becomes a huge gigantic star. She seems really nice.
I mean, that would be cool because, again, like the whole thing with this rebrand is to build new stars and out with the stars who became stars at NXT but don't really need to grow. They're really trying to really use NXT as a farming system. So
Well, what if you just came up in Ohio Valley Wrestling like me?
Are you here, or are you just?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Brock Lesnar.
Are you going to be racist as hell today?
Nah,
Brock?
man, that's a gimmick. That's a gimmick.
You were in here yelling about Brock History Month.
Oh yeah, man. I'm
10
sorry,
minutes.
man. I just got wrapped
A few
up.
weeks ago. Yeah.
But
yeah.
listen. I was dropping facts about Garrett A. Morgan. You know, still awesome guy. Came up with a traffic light. He wanted to help people. Yeah, man, it's awesome.
That is awesome.
So I wanted to shout that out, you know. And it ain't just about basketball players and rappers, you know. I don't know what you want me to come here and say something racist. I mean, if I came out here and started talking about Snoop Dogg, you know, talking about a guy who, you know, and all due respect to Snoop Dogg, you know. But I wanted to talk about somebody who does something that affects everyday life, you know? Garrett A. Morgan. You know?
I like how you're trying to turn this around. That you weren't 100% wrong. Coming in here talking about how you smashed every black WWE champion.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
You were on something.
You know, I think
the last time you were here, you were pretty chill.
You know what's going on? You know what's
out.
going on?
What?
I think that Vince is living out a lot of his fantasies through me. You know, I think he goes home. He can't take the HGH no more. He can't do the Roy's no more. You know, he can't do it. You know, he tried to rib me when I first moved in. When I first came in, and you know, he was trying to work out. You know, you heard what the Vince rib is.
Yeah.
Where he tries to work you out real hard. You know.
Yep.
But I could go all day and all night, you know. I was fucking dude. I was in that shape, and I was like 23 years old.
Yeah, you were young.
You know what I mean?
Young buck.
You can do anything. You're fucking invincible at that age. If at that size and being white, no disrespect, but it's a cheat code.
Okay.
Life is like legitimately way easier for me. And I acknowledge that. You know?
Yeah, you do.
I fucking acknowledge that, man. It ain't right, but it's the way it is.
So Brock, since you're actually here,
you know, I really like that Martin Luther King "I Have a Dream" promo. It was pretty sick, man.
You mean
I had some great ideas.
The speech he gave at the March on Washington?
Yeah, man, that place was fucking packed.
Yeah, and that wasn't a promo.
That place was fucking packed.
It was very
man.
packed.
There were some butts and seats. There weren't no seats, and if there had been some seats, you know, hey man, I wonder what the draw was for that. What the gate was for that thing.
It was free. You think Martin Luther King was charging people to come listen to him?
I'll tell you one thing, man. If them people was there, nothing that they got was free. Nothing that them folks was going through got them nothing for free. All right. Now, this is no cap, you know. Like, I mean, come on.
No cap, Brock. Where did you learn no cap?
Black history is American history, man.
So you're just the cultural appropriator now. You're not just the beast incarnate. You're the beast appropriator.
No, Montez Ford said I could say it.
What? Bianca Belair's husband gave you permission.
Well, I mean, he's his own guy, but yeah. I mean, he just said I could say no cap. It's not like he gave me the green light on the bad word.
Yeah, but you said it when you were here last time.
Yeah, well, you know.
No, it's not, Brock.
I already explained. Life is way easier for me. Can't even offend me. Try it. Call me something.
You're
do your worst. Fucking do your worst.
Everything I want to say is horrible to you.
Please try me. I don't care. You can't do nothing to me. I'm
You are an overrated. Okay,
that's not true, but go ahead.
You're totally overrated, but okay.
You think so? I'm an NCAA champ. What do you want me to be? How can I be a better wrestler? Be Kurt frickin' Angle? Okay.
Here, you cheated in your last UFC match. You're a cheater. You took performance enhancing drugs before you abuse.
Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. That's against the rules.
You guys got the show you wanted to see. Oh, it's against the rules, referee. He's got a brick. Sensational Sherry's got a brick in her purse. You sound like a kind of cop. Jesus Christ.
I'm not a cop, I assure you.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, Brock, you're right. There probably isn't anything I can say to you.
You can't. I'm a rich, really big, strong white man in America. I'm fucking Canadian. Nobody fucking knows. Everybody wants to claim. Everybody wants me to come to their table. I got fucking old man Vince calling me at 3 a.m. because he's awake, saying, "Come over. We're gonna have some fucking protein shakes and watch CT Fletcher videos."
CT Fletcher.
Sometimes I go over there. You know, it's fucking hilarious. I'm driving over there in my boxers. I get pulled over by cops. He heils Hitler. I say, "Whoa," and then he drives off. Yeah, they drive off.
No,
that's the kind of racial harassment I've been getting.
That doesn't happen to you, Brock Lesnar.
I'm sorry, man. This country's fucked.
Yeah, we finally found something we agreed on. But Brock, I can't anymore, man. You got to go. Get out.
All right, man. Can you guys talk about? Okay, sorry. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Can you guys
listen to Mark Robin, not me? Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
I had a real legit question. What do you guys think about Bryan Danielson, and is he having the best run right now out of anybody? Thanks.
Of course, he would leave with a great professional wrestling question. Good Lord, man!
What a professional, man. And I get to see why people are like. I see why he's such a commodity in pro wrestling. You know.
He does supposedly love the business, man, but
I guess he has no reason to not.
It pays him so much.
It pays him handsomely. He shows up whenever he wants. He goes off the fucking script. Nobody says
my man broke through a pod. He tore down his pod doors.
Fucking asshole.
And then the reports came out this week Brock, that was unscripted. So
that's
Brock just
hilarious.
They just tore it apart.
And Vince ain't say shit.
No, Vince said, "Do it again.
Do it again. It's good shit." It's like we have a symbiotic relationship. I touch my mind and I reach out to Brock, and he does everything I want him to do before I even want him to do it.
My pet monster.
It's incredible.
My pet monster.
Dog, that nigga is literally he's his my pet monster.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Maybe he is. Maybe he's his avatar, bro. He's just doing everything that he wants to do through Brock Lesnar. I think that's what's happening.
I completely believe it. So, did you hear the question he asked before he scooted on
Bryan
out
Danielson.
Yeah.
Is Bryan Danielson having the best run right now?
Of his entire career?
No, out of everybody in the business right now.
God.
Is Bryan Danielson having the best run?
I'm going to say, without question, he's having the most fun.
Yeah. He doesn't have a finisher.
He doesn't
I love
need
that.
It.
I love
That's
that shit.
Dope. Because we've been so conditioned for years that you got to have
a
finisher.
Hate the idea of a finisher. Because I think it's a long list of moves you shouldn't kick out of, or that if you get put in, you should just fucking tap. You would just tap. Especially if you got this is why I love this. His technical prowess, if you're talking about pro wrestling, surprise, surprise, is, it's scripted, it's predetermined. And there still has to be a level of crispiness to make it look really believable.
Yeah.
And
he possesses it. 4,000%.
Anything technical, bro, anything just his transitions from one move to the other are so fucking clean that it's and we're just talking about technical in-ring shit. So him not having a finish, which is an extension of what the real psychology of all of it is. This is advanced smarkism. This is
301.
At least 301, right? I think this is at least a level 3. It's worth 4 credits. Ooh. It's good.
Get that diploma, baby.
It's a really cool class when you pay attention. But just the fact that what that should do to the psyche of anybody who's seen a man put 10 people away in 8 different ways, you have no idea. This thing is a Swiss Army knife. Like, and I don't understand. Yeah, I do think that, you know, and not to bread everything up, but one of the best nights of his career, winning King of the Ring, not using the sharpshooter at all, finding different ways to win. That shit looks
the resourcefulness. It really did, because, like, obviously the sharpshooter, it puts Brett over huge. But when you put Brett in a situation where back in his walls, like, you will lose if you use a sharpshooter, and then he kept finding ways to win. That just made you love him even more, man, and respect his wrestling prowess. That's
one of those, and I think right now, if I had to trust somebody to have that same kind of night, Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I just think back to that promo when he first came back, talking about he wanted to fucking wrestle. And I was like, this is what he meant. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is so good.
Like, he's not even a character. I mean, he obviously is, but when he's in the ring, when it's just between in the squared circle and he has an opponent, it literally is, it's like you're watching, you don't know what's going to happen, because you've mentioned it's scripted before, but he was scripted when he was in the E, but now it really feels like he's going out there and wrestling freestyle.
It looks sweet as hell.
Yes.
It looks sweet as hell. Like, he's such, and what I'm really appreciating is how good everybody else is going to be afterward. He is so, like, working with him. Everybody looks so good when they're working with him. And who was the guy that he, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Like, bro, I mean, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but I didn't know his name then, or really, like, you know, I wasn't really paying. I was like, dog, this thing is making Homeboy look really sweet. Like,
yeah.
And then the match with Christopher Daniels, who, let's be honest, he's lost a step. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't the same fallen angel that he was before. Like, but I mean, who is? He's an old man in professional wrestling, bro. Like,
he is. But I mean, we know that people can't give the game up, man.
Can't give the game up, but I mean, just saying, you know.
Was it Moriarty? Is that the match you're talking about?
That's the one I'm talking about.
I want to make sure it was Moriarty.
He's been wrestling so many different types of matches, and it's been a joy to watch, honestly, because I like that idea. Like, if Bryan Danielson was 6'2", he would be straddling the industry like Colossus of Rhodes.
He would.
So fucking good. And there are still people who, you know what I'm saying, like, still kind of take him for granted because of his size.
And to jump in here real quick, what he's doing now is kind of what I was hoping for, like, after WrestleMania 30, because it's like he had the big moment, he won. It's like, yo, this dude, he's the total package, like, when it comes to wrestler. Now he's the champion, man. Like, I really want to see what they do with this guy. They finally believe in him. And then they stuck him in a feud with Kane, and then the neck issue started, and it was like, oh man, like, maybe the Yes movement was all we had, like, you know, maybe that's all the gas that they had for him. Like, and of course I wasn't as familiar with his Ring of Honor stuff, but just what he's done when he came back to the E, and especially since he's come back, he went to AEW, man. The man's been in 2 draws, fought Hangman to the death, damn near, and still put Hangman over.
Put everybody over that he's worked with so far, bro. Like, everybody, like, if I'm imagining the backstage, like, after that match, and just like how thankful I would be to him for especially because he's very generous.
Oh my gosh,
in the ring, bro. Like, he be taking, I'm like, you taking like mad offense off this guy too, and it's like, you know, just looking at your skill set, and again, just looking at, he's so polished on his like transitions and shit, and it's like him going from like an Oklahoma roll to, it was the Chris Daniels match, Christopher Daniels match, where he goes for like an Oklahoma roll.
Mm-hmm.
Daniels blocks it, but then he still like rolls over into a crucifix. You know, just the chain wrestling.
Yeah,
of it all.
man.
It's just
like there's an answer.
I miss that
solution
shit
in
sometimes.
Everything. And I'll tell you, and I'm sure I mentioned this on the show before, we're almost 2 seasons complete here at this point. Over the Limit 2012, when he wrestled Punk, like, and I know it was like a controversial.
Over the Limit. I gotta put that on.
Yeah, that's another one.
Whack ass.
Over the Limit.
Over the Limit. What does that even mean? Anyway. Yeah, the Punk, the match with him and Punk. Yeah.
Yeah, like I enjoyed what Punk did, but him as Daniel Bryan in that role, that's when I was like, because that was right after 18 seconds, and then seeing him, and I was like, yo, this dude can really go, because they had never given him that platform and never given him like somebody he could really wrestle with like that. And Punk was like, well, hell yeah, let's just do the indie stuff like the whole match. And I mean, when they came out and shook hands beginning, you kind of knew what we were going to get into, but then they delivered on it. That's when I was like, there's so much
I'm
that
gonna
can
go
be done
back
with
and
this
watch that
guy.
match. I
Yeah,
watched that in a long time.
it's a fun one, man. Like, and he has a lot of those little gems like throughout his WWE run, when he was healthy, and especially like, hell, the match with Roman last year in Edge, like we were talking triple threats earlier this year, like, or earlier show, how they didn't make sense and stuff. And last year it made, honestly, like Edge won the Royal Rumble, and then he's going to face Roman, and everybody's like, oh my God, they're going to put the belt on Edge. There's no way. And then they snuck Daniel Bryan in there, and they're like, oh my God, they're going to like have Daniel Bryan eat the pin, so Roman doesn't eat the pin. And even in that match, kudos to Roman and Edge, but there's so much little things that Danielson did in that match that made that match work as well as it did. And again, he put over Roman because they both ate the pin at the same time.
Yeah. And I remember not wanting to watch that match. And I don't know what it was.
We were it's WrestleMania main event burnout is what it is. Because there's been so many years we've waited 5 hours to get to the main event, and we're sitting there like this. Like, oh my God. Like, yeah. And I know we had 2 nights the last 2 years, but we were just expecting to be let down is what it was. Yeah.
And I remember being so, and it's crazy, like, you know, to consider that maybe a match with Bryan Danielson, Roman Reigns, and Edge is not going to be great. But again, triple threat. So that automatically, again, you're taking, as we stated earlier, you're watering it down to me. I don't care who you put in there. If it's a triple threat for the title, it's gonna be, you know, it's not pure to me. It feels like, you know what I mean? Something's gonna get watered down, or so you trying to chop this match with some Edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, we trying to chop this Coke with some Adam Copeland. And all respect to Adam Copeland, if you're gonna pull the trigger on him winning the Royal Rumble, and he doesn't necessarily have to win, he just has to have the best match on the card. You know, like, you don't have to win the match, you just have to give people something to remember.
Yeah.
And you know, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, that stacked pin, like, really, really sent the message. And like, to me, like, that was more the crowning moment for Roman Reigns, like beating 2 men, and for them to like go out on their backs like that was
huge. It was huge. And honestly, like, seeing that when I did, it evoked a similar emotion, because there's no way it was the exact same emotion, but a similar emotion to when Brock pinned Taker at Mania 30. Because I was just like I just, like, you stop breathing for a second. I
did say, well, I remember saying, wow.
Right.
Like, wow, they putting this boy over clean as a sheet. Like,
as a whistle.
Dog.
Yes, you couldn't ask for, like, Hogan would never have thought to pin 2 dudes at the same time.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, he would. Oh yeah, I would, man. Oh boy. I would stack them like flapjacks, brother, and put one pinky on, man. If I had my druthers, man.
You're drunk.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
No, we're not doing this tonight, Hogan. You got your moment.
Shit, baby.
Say hi to the people. We were gonna wait till Mark Rock comes back for you to be here for any longer than this.
Oh man. Ooh.
Not tonight.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Yeah,
Somebody
man.
listens to me, yo. Come
Yeah,
on.
man.
Ah.
What else does this thing do? Stanky leg, man. Oh, hello, my old friend.
No. Hogan,
Ah.
get out. Get out of here.
Oh, was that Vince?
Get back to the catering table.
That's what he calls Linda's room, man. I gotta go.
Bye.
All right.
Oh, it worked.
Yo, did you hear that he said something about the thing that I sent? Yeah, I think I sent this to the chat.
Yeah.
Thing about understanding OJ, bro. Hey, man. If it's one guy you ain't never
What a
gotta
roommate,
empathize
too.
with.
It's Orenthal James Simpson.
Why, dog?
I don't know.
And I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. Why does he say the things that he said, man?
Well, I mean, he was hurt, bro. The 19-year-old was knocking off his 61-year-old wife and driving. But hey, man.
Hey, man. Cougar's gonna coog, bro.
Dog, can you imagine Linda saying shit like no cap, trying to relate?
Oh, this song is a bop.
This song is a bop. No cap. Swinging her hand and shit like this, talking with her hands all slow and shit the whole time. This here's my zaddy. I think that's what they're saying.
Oh, God.
It's gonna be lit.
I'm gonna call Brooke.
I am hungry AF. Hold on, I'm gonna call Brooke. I don't know why. I don't think she has that accent. I think she.
I forget what she sounds like, and I
I
watched a
don't
lot
know.
of
It doesn't matter. She's a fucking
It does
right
not matter,
wing,
man.
fucking fascist bootleg, bootlicking pig. So she'll get whatever accent we give her.
Yeah.
Some women shouldn't have a voice.
I'm supposed to be the toxic one of the trio. Dang, Mark Robb would definitely be like, oh.
See, dog, Mark Robb should be here, man.
Yeah, man, he be eating you alive. I can't even say stuff sometimes. Like, oh, you're gonna get canceled, hyphen. Like, bro, this is a safe space. Like, people aren't. Calm down, Mark Robb. It'd be all right. Plus, I edit stuff. Not really. I let it flow like Tony
man.
Braxton in '96.
That was a good run.
You ain't lying.
Wait, was You're Making Me High came out in '96?
Yeah, because
Ooh, buddy.
Making Me High came out in '96 when she was in the suit.
In the cat suit, baby.
With the
hey,
yeah.
shit. Lord.
Yes, sir. Talk about gateway drugs.
Lord.
Uh-huh.
Talk about attitude
And she had
era.
Vivica in the video too. I think
Everybody
Vivica
was
was
in
one of her girlfriends in that joint. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, that's Vivica. I was like, that's Vivica.
Vivica, old ghetto ass. Fine mama. Anyway.
Where did I see Vivica on? I saw her on some random clip. It has nothing to do with wrestling, but she was somebody's girlfriend, and he was mad young. I forget. Oh, Blackish. I think it was Blackish. Yeah. She was oh boy, Dion Cole's character on Blackish.
Black people always got to be. Come on, man. Shut up, Anthony Anderson. I love you.
Angel is like, why are you watching this show? I'm like, because it's hilarious. She's like, yeah, but I'm like, yeah, but a lot of it's true. A lot of it's true though.
I'm thankful for Blackish being better than what I being completely not what I thought the title was inferring, and then anyway,
Yeah.
fuck that shit. Bryan Danielson, man,
Bryan Danielson. I'm sure he loves Blackish.
killing it.
Yes.
Yo, and did you the good things he had to say about Jade Cargill? Just like
yeah, I did peep that out. How he's jealous of her. Yeah, because I mean, she literally just got into business and she's already one of the women's champions in AEW. She's naturally gifted. She's got the look. She can go on the mic like she was born to do it, man.
Yeah, and just to have all the tools, and all you need now is the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's greener and goose shit, but she's
putting over black women.
Learn, man. Right.
Yeah.
During this Women's History Month.
Hey, Women's History Month, man. Hell yeah.
Anyway,
I'm glad we don't have any women wrestlers.
Should have a voice.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
See?
Linda Hogan is not one.
Almost made a point there.
Oh man. Is that anything else is jumping at you that you want to throw in here?
You know, some news, some old news and new news.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
know.
do some news.
I mean, well, I'm just talking about what we've been doing in general. Just kind of jumping around. But I think, what are you actually looking forward to for Mania?
I just had the card up before I was looking for Moriarty's name. Obviously Becky Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
And then very iffy on Edge and AJ, because this is.
I didn't tap that at all. It's weird. All right.
Our soundboard just has a mind of its own
Fucking
sometimes.
Ghost.
Definitely Ghost.
Anyway.
Edge and AJ I'm excited about because it looks like Edge is going full heel with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely say I'm smelling a triple threat coming because
Don't tell me that, dog, because I'm actually looking forward to that match stealing the show.
It probably will, but I feel like a certain American Nightmare is going to show up.
Don't say that, dog.
I mean, it's the best. I mean, AJ.
I don't mind if he shows up. I
feel like he might show up in the match.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be for, though, for him to suddenly show up and do a triple threat. So he may show up and interfere in some way, or just make an appearance and like, oh, look, Cody Rhodes is here. And then, like, I don't know.
Nah, that would be cheesy.
That would be cheesy.
We already know who he is. We know he's a free agent. We don't give us the NXT Keith Lee is in the crowd.
That's Adam Cole's girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking forward to that, just kind of stealing the show, or at least being like the match that's like unreasonably good.
Mm-hmm. Heel Edge is the best Edge.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed having him back recently. In recent years, he's had some very standout matches. I feel like that he's added to his already Hall of Fame resume. But when he's a complete prick is when he's the best, man. And that's when he really shines. So if he's going to go full heel and AJ's going to go back to being babyface, yeah, man, I can work with him, man. Especially after AJ having to hang out with almost for what, a year. Yeah, because they won the championships last year of Romania. So
yeah,
no offense to him. I know he was doing tag thing and getting paid for it and not having to do as much work. I get it. Randy Orton is living that life right now. Even though he got injured recently on Raw. So we'll see how severe that is. Yeah.
Which could have big implications for Mania, because I guess Orton is kind of a fixture at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he needs to be, but RK Bro is working.
Yeah, it's the most over tag team in the company.
It's a very over tag team.
Yeah.
They're super over.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that shouldn't have worked, and when you could tell that they had their hands off of it because it was a more throwaway gimmick, they're probably thinking that this whole thing will be over in just a little bit, and they didn't expect for RK Bro to catch on. And
of course
so
not.
since it did, and since it got over,
We gotta sell the merch.
And since Vince likes the silly shit when it comes to the odd couple stuff, Vince loves an odd couple, bro.
Yeah,
like
Kane and Daniel Bryan.
Kane and Daniel Bryan. Oh, wait, never mind. Don't say anymore. That's gonna be a draft. That's gonna be a draft.
The odd couple tag team draft.
Odd couple tag team draft.
I like it. Mark it down. I can work with that. I can definitely work with that.
But
Shawn Michaels and John Cena.
it was like one of those things that pushes it pushes all of Vince's buttons. And for a guy that hates tag teams the way Vince does, when he finds something that works, he's not really convinced to change it. Even though, I guess the tag team scene there right now is a little beefier with RK Bro. I feel like the Viking Raiders have come back into the picture for some reason.
Street Profits are always
going to be. They're always ready.
The Usos, of course,
I'm just looking at Raw right now.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But yeah, all those other guys, Usos are fucking just money.
Alpha Academy's on Raw, right?
Alpha Academy's on Raw.
Okay.
And who's this latest team that got in?
I don't know. Not off the top of my head.
It's somebody else that just formed a team. But whatever. It's
one of those teams.
One of them other teams just formed teams with, and then of course the
watch them win the belts.
Dirty Dogs or whatever.
My man.
I feel like they are. I feel like they are though. I think this is why I'm drawing a blank though, because it's just like they just. Oh, Seth and KO.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah. So they're just throwing people together now for, I don't know what the rush is all of a sudden to do something with tag teams now, but they've been throwing people together haphazardly, and it's like, again, you could do a whole bunch of
kind of getting some sparks and a little bit of flames from different places.
Yeah, just trying to see what they can get to pop off. But again, I don't know why all of a sudden they give a shit about tag team wrestling.
The Vince just wakes up every couple years like, oh shit, we need some tag teams.
He just
whatever tournament. Gotta make that belt relevant again.
I want everybody to come into the locker room. God damn it! Come into the locker room now. Hang on. Bring in my chair.
Fucking lifeguard beach chair comes into the locker room.
And you know who carries in the chair though, don't you? Titus.
Some jabroni.
Titus.
Some fucking jabroni.
Here you go, Vince.
Titus. Nah, I ain't gonna make Titus there. Titus is too proud to do that. Titus will do like some really corporate shit, but you ain't gonna make him like do no menial shit. He will kill you about that. You know what I'm saying? You can make him go out there and push Connor's cure, but you ain't gonna, have the nigga eating fucking bird seed out of your hand or something super humiliating like that. Anyway, Vince climbs up. It takes him forever to climb up into this beach chair now, but he's getting up into his lifeguard chair so that he can see over everybody in the locker room, and he's just like, all right, everybody, socialize. He just like stands there and watches them like under this really weird, awkward energy to try and prove that they're actually all friends.
You, what's your name?
Dolph Ziggler, sir. I used to be heavyweight champion at some point in time, and then I got concussions and
yeah.
Del Rio.
I want you and Glorious Boy to make up a handshake right now.
What? All right. And they do some stupid shit. It's like,
you two go sit down.
He doesn't say why, but he just says go sit down.
Good job.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't say shit.
You two sit down over there. All right. Do another round of socializing.
He doesn't play musical chairs, you know?
He makes them,
Now, if you're on this side of the room, I want you to go to this side of the room. And if you're over I want you to fold in on yourself like space. All right. Let's see. You. What's your name?
Kevin Owens.
And Smith. Smith Williams.
That's Seth Rollins.
Yeah, Smith.
Oh no, you think he doesn't know
You two,
Seth?
I want you two to hug as if you were a father and son, but you're not. You don't get to tell each other who's the father or who's the son. Now do it.
Hey, just an awkward fucking hug.
Smith Williams. The man's plastered over all their promo materials most of the time. He thinks his name is Smith Williams.
His name is Smith Williams.
Becky, where's Smith?
Becky, where's that boyfriend of yours? Smith. Tell him come over here.
Look, man. and then he balls up $20 bills and throws them at Smith and Kevin. And then he just tells him
Go sit down. Go sit down.
Hey, take that money and find a way to spend it on friendship.
Go get a Snickers.
No, he's gonna give nothing. He's telling us like, God, Vince is really
Spend it on friendship.
Spend it on friendship.
That's like some. I'm gonna say it to Leah. Like, hey, take this dollar and go
take
spend
this
it on
money and spend it on
friendship.
friendship.
You and your buddy Smith Williams from Iowa.
You and Smith Williams are the best of friends now. Now get out of my face, you perverts.
You think he knew?
Next.
You think he knew Ambrose's name? You think he called him Ambrose?
Dan.
No, to be fair,
Dan, you and Roman, you go out there with Smith tonight. You come out of the
to
crowd.
be fair though, from what I hear, and again, last week, Eric Adams came in and put Vince over big. I do believe that Vince, kind of finally circling it back around to the McAfee interview, which we in fact did not go.
We didn't talk about that shit.
Did not do a good job.
I'm like, Vince's mom is 101, and you're like,
all.
yeah. So Daniel Bryan,
yeah,
Bryan's
fucking mother's 100 years old. So
who gives a
anyway,
shit?
Here's a Brock Lesnar impression. You sweaty
here's
pigs.
Brock. Oh man!
All that to say, like, he's again of Eric's point of him being impressive, not just physically, not just the aura that he has, but from what I hear, knowing everybody's name, to me that's huge for like somebody that's running a company to know everybody's name in the company, especially a billion-dollar company. It's not.
It's not no little startup.
It's not, it's not a thing where it doesn't run on hundreds, if not thousands, of people doing little bit parts here and there to make sure that the spokes keep rolling. And for a business now that apparently has a ridiculously high amount of turnaround, you know what I mean? Like, anybody who can make it a point to remember names and shake hands, and from what I understand, being pretty respectful dealings, and I think it's probably more of a production team thing than it is a performer thing, to where you probably see a little more events than most people will, like especially the superstars, and they say like, I hadn't seen him, or I met with him, or you got to do. It's really hard to get in touch with them. And then there are others that are like, I walk in, or you got to be willing to fight for your stuff.
Yeah, like KO was saying that he negotiated his new contract with them and everything. He's like, I dealt with Vince. He's like, I didn't do, and I mean,
that's dope.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Are we going to put Vince in the hall?
No, Fuck no. I'm not getting soft. I'm just saying.
I was just putting.
I'm just
putting it
saying he
out
has some
there.
respectable traits. That man is resting in piss.
He has done a ton for
That boy gonna rest in piss.
Definitely should.
No, baby.
Oh, baby.
I mean, at some point, it's. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we
know.
know that
Like,
inevitable.
people like R. Kelly's
too.
music. I'm all right.
Yeah, we know inevitable. One day, someone will utter the name that we've been keeping out of. The Hall
it's
of
gonna
Fame.
be some people. Yeah, and I get it. And I mean, I understand it. It's.
Can we block them? Especially when it comes time for Terry, when his name comes across, can we just block it? Like, no, sorry.
No, I mean, I do. I mean, I do want to be fair.
I mean, we roast the guy like every episode.
Yeah.
So.
No, and I mean, fair,
Deservedly
like,
so.
That's fair, though. Yeah, exactly. No, that is fair. He
Yeah.
needs to be called on the carpet, and this is a wrestling show, and is unfortunately always gonna at some point Hogan's name will be mentioned, and at some point, and at those points on the Rasslecast Power Hour, it's going to be slander. Fuck that cat.
Mhm.
But if you're thankful for what he did for the business, sweet. If you're also of the mind that he could have done a lot more for the boys, then you could be on that side of it too.
Yeah.
It's debatable.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I don't know, because I wasn't fucking there, so I'm not that.
None of us were there. We only know what we know from rumors and innuendo.
There you go. Let me humble myself and bring myself back down to the fan shit of the Rasslecast Power Hour, which we're marks too. We don't know shit, but we have fun. We still gonna get these jokes off. Still gonna get them bitches off. Let's actually get 2 more points off that Vince interview.
Okay.
Actually do it.
Okay.
Buckle down now. This is our game.
So it's your poll then.
Oh no, go ahead. No, you got it up. Go ahead. I don't.
Oh, well, I was pulling it back up too. All right. Vince arrived at the studio 23 minutes late. That's just the first thing I read.
That's hilarious.
Fuck that guy. Yeah.
Okay. McAfee asked if the Monday Night Wars changed them. McAfee mentioned WCW, TNA, Impact, and AEW. Also mentioned the acquisition of Ring of Honor the night before. And Vince said he enjoys confrontation. Mm-hmm. and then off of that, the next point that they brought up was Vince said he lived through beatings as a kid and felt like he lived through it and questioned what now after living through it.
Yeah, I mean, no, he definitely has the earmarkings of someone who was abused.
Yeah,
but he's older than 50.
Yes.
So
he definitely he saw it worse than what we got.
Sign.
Yes.
That's kind of a telltale sign.
He was a switches and fists kind of kid.
Beaten by an adult. Was that you came up in the 50s.
Yeah.
Which is sad to laugh at.
It is.
But yeah, that would explain a lot. And I think his dad was like, never mind, I don't want to say anything. Like, I feel like he was like old school Irish, I'll say.
I feel
there
that.
we go.
I feel that.
Yeah, that's the right way to say
exactly what
that.
I was looking for. Yeah,
that's the right way to say that without being, yeah. So he's a very old school Irish, and that can have an effect on someone who's just a creative. Like at some point, I bet if we went back in time and talked to young Vincent Kennedy McMahon, we would have like a completely different appreciation for like who he was back then, at least, and like the parts of himself that he kind of had to sell to make this shit what it is, or to a degree what it was, because even WWE has glory days. You know,
They certainly do.
They have glory days, and then they have a lot of time where it's not that. Even if the product is still pretty good, it's just like at that point in time, society is not like riding the wave of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
So in those times,
like the mid 90s,
is going to be better. Yeah, 1994. Wasn't nobody. I mean, Pamela Anderson was really getting a check to be at that Royal Rumble, boy. She was just like, man, just cut this, just slice that check, dog.
I gotta get back to the set.
Let me get back to Baywatch. I'm around this fucking pig, Shawn Michaels, and I just cut the check, baby. I know. I've done some sex work, or I've done some provocative things, bro. Nah. Listen, you're talking to somebody who used to be around Tim Allen. So
yeah, Tim Allen. Yeah.
I wonder who's worse.
Out of who? Tim Allen and who?
Tim Allen and Shawn Michaels. Who she probably has the worst stories about.
You already know it's Shawn, man. Shawn was a monster. You really like? I know that.
I'm saying compared to Tim Allen.
Now,
Tim Allen,
we know,
known snitch.
Yeah, known snitch.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, shit.
That nigga was pushing weight and snitching to save his own ass. Nigga's the lowest of the low, dog. Fuck Tim Allen.
Hey, Shawn, we won one, bro.
Man, he rest in piss, bro.
Yo, Tim Allen is going to the rest in piss wing. We're punching the ticket. Hall of Shame right there. Tim Allen, welcome.
That nigga, man. And fuck you, Tim Allen. You are worse than Shawn Michaels. At least Shawn Michaels wasn't a snitching ass drug dealer.
Nope, he certainly was not.
Shout out to Shawn Michaels for being better than Tim Allen. All right.
What an accomplishment, man.
Bro, this nigga snitched on everybody, went free, and then went on to make multiple streams of income legally. Like, dog, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Who?
I mean, the man gets Toy Story royalty checks. So,
I was gonna say Toy Story, bro. Imagine the nigga who snitched on you and landed you in jail, then went on to become Buzz Lightyear. I would kill that man, dog. The audacity to go off
major
and
flex, man.
The audacity to go off and become a cartoon.
Brag.
I can't think of anything that's more opposite than serving prison for cocaine and shit, or being the voice of a fucking cartoon. This nigga flipped and continues to thrive today.
Oh, God.
And you know that nigga be out there talking about bootstraps.
Oh, of course.
You know that nigga be talking about bootstraps. I'm like, bro.
Yeah,
Tim
pull yourself
Allen
up on bootstraps. That's how I got to Santa Claus 4. That's why I'm getting ready to get some Disney Plus money.
In a suit. Talk about he's Santa Claus.
Yes.
Going through snow and shit. You in jail.
There's snow and
over some goddamn snow. This nigga, it's cold.
Life comes at you fast.
That nigga get to experience the elements, dog. And
the elements.
And he gets to experience all of the seasons, bro. Like,
right.
And I'm behind bars. And the nigga that put me there is also Santa Claus.
And has two sitcoms in syndication. Now, Home Improvement doesn't move like that, but the more recent one, the one is the right wing one. That joint constantly getting plays.
Bro,
constantly making the money, man.
Dog, Tim Allen got to rest in piss. Keep that spot warm, Vince.
Yeah.
Whichever one of y'all go, we gonna put them niggas next to each other. Yeah. But again, shout out to Vince. All right, back. One more question. Well, one more point from there.
One more point. I'm just gonna go with the quads, man. McAfee recalled Vince blowing out his quads. Vince joked about it being a special talent to blow out both quads at the same time. I mean, it's a special talent. He owned it.
Dog. At the end of the day, you're a rich ass white man, dog.
He also forgot Linda was his wife. Because he referenced her as
Oh,
my
shit.
wife at the time, and then corrected himself to say my wife.
Nah, baby, they've been done. Damn, Linda checked out.
Oh, here's a comment. BS interview. He didn't ask about Shane being released. Didn't mention why he destroyed NXT. Didn't ask why Khan had so much power in the company.
You feel better now, dog? Like,
Oh, he looks like he.
BS interview.
I gotta send you.
What do you-
I'm gonna send you Homeboy's profile picture, and you'll know exactly.
Oh, I already know
why
what this
he's so
motherfucker look like.
mad.
I already know what this motherfucker look like.
Oh, you'll know exactly
you
why
that.
he's so
You
mad.
ain't about to, I ain't about to be surprised at all when I see this nigga's face. Yep. This
I would use it for the cover photo
100%.
if I could.
100% this guy. Dog, just pixelate his face, bro. Just pixelate this nigga, because this is what it's all about, man. When we say sweaty marks, dog, this is who we talking about.
I'm gonna do it.
This nigga thinks that he thinks that somebody cares about this point. And if he knew this was going on right now, if he knew that we were talking about him right now, he would have a nocturnal emission. All right, like he'd cream his jeans to know that somebody out there
To the top. Oh, yeah.
knows that he's alive. That the endorphins that he would get
Oh man.
to hear this. Oh my God. Can you imagine if he listens to this show and then he sees his little striped blue polo in the picture and he's just like, holy shit, that's me. Holy shit. Guys, come quick. He'd be talking to like his fucking Raggedy Ann dolls.
Raggedy.
This guy, man. This is what it's all about, man. Shout out to the Marks.
Oh, there's a Saudi Arabia quote I just saw. McAfee brought up
God.
Vince McMahon taking WWE to Saudi Arabia. Vince said the Saudi people were like any other people. And Vince said people love Western culture even if they don't love the government. And Vince said people are people and cultures are cultures, and you have to respect that.
But you're a liar. That shit.
People
That bread be
are
smacking.
people, and cultures are cultures.
You know, bro.
You
People
have to
are
respect that.
People are people.
Deeper than rap, man.
People are people. And here's the thing. If when you pan the crowd, there weren't a bunch of dudes in like the white rich ass oil baron gowns with the red and white checkered, you know, the ones, the red and white checkered do-rags,
The ones
and
who looked,
fucking riding crop for no reason, the
who
expensive
looked
ass
just like
shades.
Iron Sheik back in the day. Yes.
Yeah. Now, if I looked in the crowd, you know, when y'all pan the crowd or whatever, and it was like, you know, little Saudi girls, you know, like trying to come there and like be inspired and shit, or you see, you know, little dirt face kids or whatever, and by dirt I mean like whatever food or whatever you got on it. It's like children. They get food on their faces. I ain't saying like it's a third world country.
I know what you meant.
Remarking that these niggas are super rich, but like, that's where the disconnect is for me, because instead of keeping it 100, and I don't expect anybody to be like, we going over there for the bread. Like, but to have that kind of response to that, to have that answer, which would be really cool if we were seeing these characters that I'm describing. We're seeing oil barons out there, nigga. Like, I'm seeing blood money in the front row or whatever, and that's the reason why fucking Undertaker is wrestling 15 years into his shelf life.
Yeah,
It's
the same
like,
reason Shawn Michaels came out of
fam.
retirement.
Man.
The same reason Goldberg keeps coming back every time they go. It's like,
Goldberg, man.
You going to Saudi Arabia, Vince? I'm next. Eric did it way better last week.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's a really dumb line anyway. Yeah.
I'm looking through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said. Vince said there was a time after WrestleMania 4 or 5 when he developed an ego and felt he was somebody, but he said it only lasted about 6 months.
What?
Are you sure, bro?
What? Right?
Are you sure?
Didn't he have a match against God in like 2000?
Yeah.
Range?
And for me, like those gimmicks, I mean, you are kind of you are your truest self. Well, the best way to run your gimmick obviously is to be as close to the version of you as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like thinking about whether or not Vince is closer to the Mr. McMahon character, if he's the blue suit Vince on Superstars saying what a maneuver.
You already know.
He's like somewhere in between, like if you told me the guy with the WWF patch on his suit knows everybody that works in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course he does. He's a fucking nerd. He's an accountant. And like then to be like that fucking egomaniac over there on HGH blowing out his quads
for no reason.
He's really humble. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard sell. So it's like, and so you would imagine that he's somewhere in between that spectrum, like in real life. So, the caricature that we always do over here and that Nav does on Swordcast,
shout out to the cast, man.
It's fuck it. It's we getting these jokes off, and based on the guy that we think we know, that guy is gonna rest in piss. But maybe this guy doesn't. He's nobody's the same thing to everybody. So
very true. It's 100% true. People are people. So you gotta respect that.
All right, maybe I'm turning. Maybe I'm softening.
We've had a lot of pro Vince stuff the last few weeks. I can see your path to turning slightly.
Man, and I think also with Eric Adams' endorsement, like last week, it kind of
it was very cool, very cool.
Because I believe him though. You know what I mean? I believe
I do too.
I believe everything he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And like if he genuinely thought like he was a piece of shit or whatever, he would just say it.
Yeah, I mean, he told the truth about Punk. Which I
knew
was going to be a bad Punk story. I knew it was going to be a bad Punk story.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
It's going to be a dick story, yeah. And even then, he's still, he's a fucking wrestler, bro. His job is to get people over, But with that said, he didn't have to have such a ringing endorsement for McMahon. And
no, man.
Yeah.
It was nice. Nice to hear, because you don't hear that kind of story every day. We read the rumors, we see what we see on TV, we know what we know. We know the history of what Vince has done in the business. But I mean, like he literally said, like he paid me $250, which is way more than what I normally make a night, to come and sit in catering and do a few things and bump around with a few people. And then like he actually took the time to come and shake my hand and tell me how much he appreciated the work. It's like, I mean, that's just good bossing, man. That's just good bossing.
That's cool, man. That's real cool.
It's very cool.
So do we have to do this, dog?
I kind of feel like we need to while we're here.
You know what, man?
I think we just need to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. Because I was thinking about it earlier. After Eric, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we need to kind of just give him his flowers for everything that he has done. Because no one else has. No one else.
Nigga. Because I'm a motherfucking nigga.
Nah, dog. You stay your ass about this motherfucking Rasslecast Power Hall of Fame, dog. You gonna rest in piss, and that's all we gonna care about, dog. That's the dismount.
That's the dismount.
Y'all dirty bastards can see our secretaries on the way out. Fuck all y'all. Happy Black History Month.
Good fight, good night. Shout out to Cesaro, you're free.